We're not politically correct, we just have common sense.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unfaltering. Show of Support's Hunt for Heroes offers tributes and true stories of remarkable courage.
If these terrorists could come in your bedroom, they'd kill you, your wife, and your kids. And that's what these men are fighting to protect us from, these murdering idiots. And they're taking them out so that we don't have to deal with them over here.
Show of Support started it all just after the shock and awe bound a nation together. Now, years of footage portraying wounded veterans, deer stands, and standing ovations. Hunt for Heroes, that started as one man's way to say thanks, is now a series that many say is way overdue.
I ain't never felt like that before, and I want to feel that again.
It's just a raw emotion.
They left us being loved and being honored for the heroes that they are.
We still have 40,000 injured troops.
If you threaten our people and our way of life, we will find you wherever you may be hiding, in the place you feel most safe, and we'll kill you in your own bedroom. Thank you for being a country worth fighting for. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
It's going to take a while to get around to all of them, but there's no quitting. It'll never stop as long as I'm breathing.
Show of Support Hunt for Heroes is made possible through a partnership with Pioneer Natural Resources, Boss Blinds, Kel-Tec, Tico Field Service, Double J Ranches, CBT Charities, and Christmas for our troops.
Oh yeah. Yep.
(2013). It's been a year of milestones for the folks at Show of Support Hunt for Heroes.
Thank you so much. I mean, seriously, can I please thank you so much? Yeah, that definitely makes hunting a lot easier.
It was a year of firsts, as in the story of Megan Griffin, the first female veteran ever involved with Show of Support. Plus,
When I saw them coming off the plane, they were walking together, and to see the attitudes on their face was what impressed me.
Lane?
There they are.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing super.
Hey, sir.
we'll take you back to the very first Show of Support hunt 10 years ago. Also,
the view from the porch out there, it's amazing. You can watch the system roll in. Within 10 minutes, you know, the sky turns black. It starts just torrential downpour.
from the back of Terry Johnson's lodge, Jeremiah wonders if his hunt has been washed away by a pounding storm. Opening weekend of whitetail season finds one of America's most decorated combat heroes waiting out a torrential Texas thunderstorm. The story of Jeremiah Workman. Plus the story of so many veterans of Afghanistan and Iraq. Then,
Okay, thank you.
a decade has passed since this man, Terry Johnson, born and raised with a fierce love for the outdoors, felt the surge of pride and admiration for those young Americans returning from war with battle scars, broken bones. The tribute to 4 American heroes lost on that terrible day in November 2012. Stay with us for this special edition of Show of Support Hunt for Heroes. This portion of Show of Support Hunt for Heroes is made possible through a partnership with Pioneer Natural Resources. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . .
been a Marine for 16 years, it's kind of like you've been practicing all that time, it's time to go play ball.
U.S. Marine Russell Williams was the very first combat veteran to hunt with Show of Support Hunt for Heroes.
It's a nice deer. Looks like a 10-point. He's got a split G2. He's hit.
It was a rifle shot heard around the world, the first of more than 200 combat veterans over the last decade.
Every single day, I think about the guys that are still there, the guys that are returning, and I pray for them every single day. And maybe some small way, me coming out here and getting to experience this and do these things, I can tell them about it and let them know, and I can do it in some way for them as well.
Only thing is, Russell Williams was not alone on this inaugural Show of Support hunt.
Okay, that's clear here.
Yeah, I think I can do it.
Okay, just whenever you're ready.
On the other side of the ranch, another American hero has his crosshairs on a big buck.
I think you did it. Good shot. Great shot.
Special Forces veteran Lane Morris was one of the hunters on that very first hunt.
Let's go see what we did. See what you did. I think you did good. Very good.
I was excited to really get my hands on him and just check him out. That's a thrill to be able to get up and on something like that is so beautiful.
And it was on that very first hunt when Terry Johnson was moved to dedicate his life to Show of Support.
What does this do to you inside?
It just well, it makes me proud to be an American after meeting these two guys, Russ and Wayne, to be represented by these people. As a great service to America. These are two fine young men. It's been my pleasure to get to know them. And to see what they've been through and what they've done, hear what they've done, it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome.
It was more than a deer hunt. It was a gesture that would be copied, imitated, and spread across the country in many forms. This practice of sharing the outdoors with wounded American heroes.
Big white deer, big deer, good looking deer. Terry gave me the green light to go ahead and shoot it.
When we come back, the incredible story of Jeremiah Workman and the incredible buck that came after one of Mother Nature's worst temper tantrums. Stay with us. Closed captioning for Show of Support Hunt for Heroes is made possible through a partnership with Boss Blinds.
It was a house full of insurgents. Half my squad got stuck on the second story of this house for 3 hours. It was just a intense, close quarters, in-your-face gunfight, trying to get those Marines out of there.
Something snapped inside this Marine soul on that terrible day. Ambushed and outnumbered, Jeremiah made several charges to rescue Marines trapped in the relentless firefight raging in a Fallujah two-story house.
You know, I'd seen thousands of dead insurgents laying around that city. It was nothing to see dead bad guys. But the second I saw one of your own dead Marines laying there, it was pretty tough. It flipped the switch on me, and I wanted to go back in the house and kill every one of those insurgents that was left in that house. That 3 hours definitely changed my life forever.
He's been called the hero who didn't save himself. Jeremiah Workman's bravery would be forever recorded in the hugely popular book, Shadow of the Sword.
Yeah, he's kind of limping. He's sore from fighting.
I was super pumped up, really excited, but being a Marine, what's going through my mind is I want to shoot the deer. I don't want to miss. You know, you'll never hear the end of it, things like that. But I was super excited.
Oh, good shot. That was worth everything.
When I looked up above the scope and I saw the deer immediately fall, I didn't take a step. I was excited, relieved.
That was awesome. Congratulations.
I mean, it's the biggest buck I've ever shot. To watch that thing drop in its place, it's just an awesome feeling.
It was a long hunt for Jeremiah Workman, but well worth the wait.
Look at all that.
First time I touched his antlers, felt awesome. I couldn't believe that I just shot this massive buck.
What do you think? You like him?
It's awesome. For everything to unfold the way it did, I mean, it couldn't have worked out any better.
I love the curl. I wasn't even sure if I was going to like hunting, but I did, and I would come back again and again and again. It's exhilarating. That's awesome.
It took 9 years, but Megan Griffin answered the call for Show Support's first female hunter. Her brother Josh came as a chaperone, but ended up as an honored guest.
Now you get a chance to outdo her.
Oh, that's awesome! Yes!
It felt like I was on top of the world.
It's obvious the most important person in Josh Griffin's life is his older sister. She's been there for him in the past.
It was 6 November of '05. We were going out on mission. We hit an IED, and when it went off, it hit the right front side of the vehicle, and we were going about 60 miles an hour, and it flipped it end over end 3 times. My heart stopped 4 times, but ultimately I had a right femoral fracture, a double mandible fracture, lacerations to my head, second-degree burns to my hand and face, and multiple secondary facial fractures.
My NCO had told me, he said, I just want you to know that your brother was blown up in Iraq. He was like, I don't know what kind of condition he's in. He's alive, and they're transporting him to Landstuhl. And that was only maybe 2 hours from where I was. I just got there as fast as I could.
Thousands of miles away from home, a brother and sister are together. And it was in this hospital room in Germany where a ceremony took place unlike any in the history of the military.
I don't remember a whole lot about, when I was in the hospital in Germany, but one big thing I do remember was that Purple Heart that I was presented for my injuries in Iraq.
They actually walked into the room with it in ICU, and they asked me if I wanted to do it, and I was like, yeah, I'll give my brother his Purple Heart.
It definitely meant the world. I mean, I could have received it from anybody, generals and colonels, but it wouldn't have meant as much coming from one of them. The fact that my sister only ever gave out one, and I'm the only person who ever received it, kind of hits home when you think about it.
I was proud of him. I was proud. I mean, I was just, I mean, I don't even know how to describe it. It just, you just have an overwhelming sense of pride and love and honor all at the same time. I mean, it's just a flood of emotions.
There you go.
Sorry it had to be painful. I wished I could take that part away from you guys. And again, this is just our way of saying thanks the way I know how. And I truly mean it. I hope you use this gun later in the future and remember this weekend. Remember, there's a grateful nation out here. Very appreciative of what you've done.
I was really proud to be able to call him my brother.
This portion of Show of Support Hunt for Heroes is made possible through a partnership with Pioneer Natural Resources. A city, a nation awakes in disbelief. 4 American heroes who survived so much defending our lives, our way of life, our very liberty itself, taken away from their families in a terrible accident. On the afternoon of November 15th, 2 flatbed trailers are parked outside the hotel in downtown Midland. It's on these floats, as in years past, where the heroes will ride to the Horseshoe Arena, where a huge banquet is planned for the evening. All the way from the highway to the entrance of the Horseshoe, the route is lined with flags. The sheriff's posse takes its place to welcome the entourage. As the parade begins moving west on Wall Street, nothing seems out of order. To all those aboard, to all those in Midland, Texas, hearts filled with gratitude are about to be shattered with terrible news.
We don't know all the details on it right now. We know that there's a bad accident. So let's go to the Lord with it, if all right, y'all. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, God, we come to you, Lord, in thanksgiving. And at the same time, God, we ask that you just hold all of those that might be injured, God.
Every available ambulance, paramedic, and first responder is called into action. Were it not for the quick response of the veterans and wives on board the floats, more lives might have been lost. Army Sergeant Major William Lubers. Of the quarter century he spent in the Army, 21 years was in the elite fighting unit, Special Forces. This quiet family man was in his second deployment to Afghanistan when the team was caught in an overwhelming enemy fire. Lubers was leading a team through the dust, smoke, and confusion of close combat when a bullet shattered his arm. William Lubers recovered and returned to the conflict. And while conducting patrols in southern Afghanistan, he was struck and injured, then evacuated, spending months recovering at Walter Reed Army Hospital. The military awarded Lubers 3 Bronze Stars and a Purple Heart, among other commendations. William J. Lubers leaves behind his wife, Tiffany, and their 2 children.
Chief Warrant Officer Stouffer, did I get it right? All right.
Chief Warrant Officer Gary Stauffer was a United States Marine for 17 years, serving in Albania, Kosovo, Afghanistan, and twice in Iraq. It was during a resupply mission in Afghanistan that Stauffer's vehicle was hit by multiple IEDs. That was 2 years ago, and Stauffer was still recovering from the attack. Gary's enduring legacy as a Marine, a husband, and a father will always be held as a model for those he left behind.
Sergeant Major Boyden.
After 24 years in the Army, Lawrence Boyden retired, a career that placed him in some of the world's most dangerous locations. It was April 2004, during a tour of duty in Iraq. While providing training and support, his unit was swarmed in a surprise attack. Lawrence was hit by shrapnel, but continued to return fire and rescue Marines and Army personnel caught in the attack that would later become known as the Battle for Fallujah. Another RPG ripped through Boyden's left side, but somehow he stayed on his feet, rescuing the wounded and providing cover. He received a Silver Star and a Purple Heart for that day in Iraq.
Sergeant Josh Michael, 101st Airborne Army!
Even before he ever joined the military, Joshua Michael worked as a paramedic in Amarillo, Texas. He had just finished a long shift overnight in the Texas Panhandle when Joshua saw his life change before his eyes. The cowardly attacks of that morning in September ignited a heroic passion that would lead Joshua to Iraq. While there, he suffered 3 separate bomb blasts. It was the last one that sent him home for good. Medically retired, Joshua Michael received 2 Purple Hearts and 3 Armor Combat Support Medals. William Lugers, Gary Stauffer, Lawrence Boylan, and Joshua Michael, they honored us by the manner in which they lived their lives. We will never forget these men, 4 heroes who slipped the surly bonds of earth to touch the face of God.